Hi everyone, Daniel Sessa here from Team Sessa Real Estate. We have your latest home prices and insights for the City of Toronto for week ending August 24th. Now my dad's taking a break this week. He will be back next week, but we did want to make sure that you guys still got your content, and so that's why I'm here. Now let's talk about something before we get into the numbers. Our comment section. We love your comments. There are so many great discussions, there's so many funny discussions that happen in our comment section. But there's one comment in particular that always fascinates us. And it goes something along the lines of this. Hey Santo, we have a 3-bedroom detached house in High Park. We're wondering if we should sell it or we should keep it. What do you think? Now, if you were to look at all the replies underneath that comment, you'll see so many vastly different opinions on our current real estate market. Someone will say, hold on to it until December 2023. That's when the market's going to rebound. Someone will say, ditch it now because prices are never going to go back up. You're never going to get that money back, so just sell it right away. There are so many different opinions, and so everyone seems to have a way to justify their opinion. Now, I'm not saying one of them is right, one of them is wrong, but what I am saying is that they're all just guesses. No one knows what's going to happen in our real estate market. All we know is what has happened and what is currently happening. Anything beyond that is just a guess. And so if you leave a comment like that, there's two things that I would let you know. The first is you're probably going to leave more confused than before you had left the comment, because you're going to see so many different points of view. The second is you need to think about your particular situation. Does it make sense for you to sell now? Does it make sense for you to buy something now? Will you be stretching yourself to buy something now? Does it make sense to keep a property? Do you want to be a landlord if you want to keep it and rent it? There are so many different factors that you need to consider, and no one in the comment section knows those answers. The only person that knows those answers is you. So when you speak to a real estate agent, someone you trust, someone you know that knows the information, and you tell them your plans, they can properly guide you and say, hey, listen, maybe selling right now doesn't make too much sense, just wait it out. Or maybe selling right now does make sense, maybe buying does make sense, maybe buying now doesn't make sense. There are so many different factors, but the only way to know the true answer is going to be based on your particular situation. So speak to someone you trust, get their input, but take everything you're hearing online, everything you're hearing in the media, all the news reports, take all that with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it doesn't fit with your situation. If you like this video, please share it. Let's get into the numbers. If you're looking to speak to us about your real estate situation, there's a link in the description. Click on that link, it'll bring you to a calendar, schedule a time that works best for you, and we'll make sure that we're free at that time so we can talk about whatever's on your mind real estate related. Let's get into the numbers. So for week ending August 24th, for detached homes in Toronto, we had sold 108 homes in Toronto. 18 of those were sold at $2 million or more, and we can see that the average price is sitting at $1,630,000. Now what's interesting about that average price is it's only about 1% less than where it was last year, but the big difference is in the amount of homes selling at $2 million or more. So last year we had sold 32, this year we had only sold 18, but we're still at a very similar average price. Now if we look at median price, we said that average price was down 1%, median price is down 7%, and you can see that it's been pretty consistent throughout the summer in terms of the median price for a detached home in Toronto. And so sold at list price or more. Last year there was a lot of competition, houses were selling pretty fast, and we could see that based on the 60% that were sold at list price or more. This year we can tell things have drastically slowed down because we're only at 27, so about a quarter of the homes are selling at list price or more. Sales here are down 28% from this time to the beginning of the year to last year at this time to the beginning of that year. And we can see here that 12 months ago we were selling quite a bit more than we are now. So listings, active listings, we can see that active listings is down to 1,304 active listings. This brings us 8% lower than where we were at the same time last year. And you can see that past couple of weeks we've been listing about the same as we were last year. The only difference is we're not getting as many sales as we did last year. And so what does that do? That brings up the month of inventory. 2.8 is the month of inventory that we're currently sitting at, with an average days on market being 19. So 19 days on market, you know, it's a little difficult to kind of explain, because a property could be listed, sit on the market for 100 days, be canceled, then change price, list it again, and sell within 19 days. And then that 19 days becomes that days on market, when in actuality it would be 119 days. But that's where we are right now. So if we break it down central, west, and east, we can see there was a massive jump in the average sales price for central Toronto homes. And this is where the bulk of the luxury homes are, and that's sitting at $2,933,000. And you can see that east and west have remained fairly stable. Those have been the ones that have been kind of keeping the price in, that have been very consistent in terms of price, I should say. And so West Toronto is sitting at $1,322,000, and East Toronto is sitting at $1,172,000. So West Toronto, we said $1,322,000 average price. We did 36 sales, and 4 of those homes had sold at $2 million or more. Now, median price, average price is down 8% from where it was last year. Median price is down 5% from where it was last year. You can see that, again, they're kind of following similar trends to each other. Now, months of inventory is sitting at 2.9 months of inventory for West Toronto. And again, average days on market is sitting at 17, but again, grain of salt. Central Toronto had a massive spike in in average price here. You can see this is probably one of the higher ones of the year. But again, we were sitting at $2,933,000. 25 homes were sold in Central Toronto for that week ending, and 12 of them sold at over $2 million or more. So just about half sold at over $2 million or more. And what does that do? Average price will fluctuate. Median price, we can see, as you know, even though average price went up as much as it did, median price stayed relatively the same, and it's sitting at 8% higher than it was from last year. And the average sold price is sitting at 24% higher than it was last year, but grain of salt. So Central Toronto, sitting at 4.7 months of inventory for detached homes. Average home stays on the market for about 31 days. And we can see that sold at list price or more is 12%. So not too many of those homes are actually selling at list price or more. It seems like they're being talked down from the list price. Average sold price is up 24% year over year. Median price is up 8%. And now let's move on to East Toronto. So East Toronto have an average price of $1,172,000. 47 sales. One of those had sold at over $2 million. And what I'll say about East Toronto is, because this past week I was showing a few clients in East Toronto, and what we're noticing is some of these homes that have been sitting will continue to sit, but there are special homes that are being put on the market that are getting sold right away, and a lot of them with multiple offers. So median price, we can see here, it's down 8% from where it was year over year. Average price down 6% for where it was year over year. And we're currently sitting at 1.7 months of inventory. So we had 47 sales, 36 of them sold at list price or more. 36% of them sold at list price or more. Average price, median price are both down. And so now we have this chart, which is kind of broken down. It shows you, it actually divides it in the regions where it's supposed to be divided. So west, 36 sales. We compare that, east, we're going to do the lion's share of the sales. Price, again, east would be the lowest. Median price, east is the lowest. Sold at list price or more, east is the highest, because does seem to be more people that are interested in East Toronto right now. Average days on market and months of inventory. This is just a breakdown so you can kind of see them all compared to one another. So semis here, they jumped to $1,262,000 as the average price. 37 semis were sold 8 of them sold for over $1.5 million. And we can see that average sold price and median price are both up year over year. So we're up 3% for average price and 8% for median price. But we're seeing a bit of fluctuation from where we were back in June, July. So we're seeing prices come down, come up. It'll be interesting to see what happens going further. Semis, months of inventory, sitting at 1.7 months of inventory. Sold at list price or more is 46%, so just about half. So still a little bit competitive in the semi market. Townhouses. Townhouses currently sitting at $1,021,000. You can see kind of the big discrepancy in average price here. Prices are changing so much, and that's because there's not too many townhouses that are sold in the city of Toronto. So these low number of sales really do skew the numbers. We had 10 sales and one of them sold at over $1.5 million. Again, if we look at average sold price and median sold price versus last year, they're both down pretty substantially. 17% for the average sold price last year and 22% for the median price last year. So they're coming down quite a bit. And again, 2.5 months of inventory, 10 sales, 20 of them sold at list price or more. So a lot of these townhouses are selling below asking, and average days on market is sitting at 14. So condos. Condos, we have an average sold price of $748,000. We sold 194 condos last week. 25 of them sold at $1 million or more. And it's interesting because condos have been kind of staying relatively stable in the past few months. So we can see here, if we go back to May 25th, we were in between 684 and 749, and we still kind of seem to be in between that range. We did sell 25 condos at $1 million or more this year and 31 last year. Median price 6% higher than what it was last year, and average price 5% higher than what it was last year. So sold at list price or more. I remember a lot of people were saying that, it's not a good metric, and it's not perfect, but again, it does show you the level of competition in the market right now. We can see that 28%, so a quarter of condos are selling at list price or more, meaning 3/4 of those are selling below list price. And sales take a big hit, 29% less sales to this point this year than we did at this point last year. And you can see here, we were flying pretty high with sales in terms of condos at this time last year, and things just really kind of slowed down now. So active listings shot way up. So went from 2,848 to 3,824. Listings are still down 5% from where they were last year, and you can see that we're listing just about as much, just maybe a little less now, but we've been pretty much on par with what we were listing this time last year. Months of inventory for condos, sitting at 4.6 months of inventory. Days on market is 28, which even given the explanation I gave earlier, that's still pretty substantial days on market from what we were used to, back in the beginning of the year. And so you look at the summary and we can see that months of inventory is kind of up and down. So detached, months of inventory came down, semis stayed the same, towns, West Toronto and Central Toronto went down, condos up, and East Toronto stayed the same. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.